How's it going, guys? We're going to have some fun today. I'm going to be showing you my approach on adding Dagger to a module. I like to keep these simple and to the point, and my goal here today is just to give you guys a workable foundation where you can add or take off code as it suits your project. Also, I want to applaud you guys for taking the time to learn something new and grow within your craft. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So this is going to be a really simple application. It's only going to have two buttons. The first of which is going to show you constructor using this activity here, just injecting into the activity. And the second one is going to show you constructor injection into non-activity or non-view class. So we're going to focus on our module class here. And it's going to be pretty straightforward. It's going to be some subtle differences, starting with manually injecting in the context. And of course, we're going to make sure to provide that out. One thing I will point out here that's really important, if you notice, we make sure to pull the application context from whatever context we get. Even though you think that the you guys are going to be passing in a application context here, just to make sure, go ahead and pull it out when you're providing it in that provide method. So that's it for your app module. The second class we're going to focus on is going to be your component class. And right now it looks very much similar to what you're used to. And since we don't have access to that application class, instead of having the injection method for it, we're going to have an injection method for the specific activity that we're injecting into. And right now it's going to be our main activity. And I will say that first things first is yes, it needs to be called inject. And the second thing is you'll need to have one of these for each one of your activities or fragments that's going to be utilizing the dagger. So right now we only have the one, and we're just going to use it for our main activity. And the last thing we need to do to this component class is just create our component builder. Alrighty, and that is it for our application component class. And the last class that I'm going to need to do something to is this class I like to call Dagger Injector. This is going to be called by the activity to inject itself. So let's go ahead and set it up so we can build out that component. And you see here, this is where we manually inject that context for the app module. And since we know that building this component is pretty taxing, we want to make sure we're not doing it too often. So let's go ahead and create a method to get the component, but only create it when necessary. And that is it for your Dagger Injector class. And so we're going to jump into the main activity here. And this is actually going to be where we utilize that Dagger Injector. So I want to make sure the injection is done before my views start getting set up. So I'm going to run this before super. It's just a preference that I like to do. So let's do Dagger Injector. That's it. So each of your activity and fragments, all it needs to do is call this get component method and it will be set up. So let's go ahead and inject our application context. And so instead of using this as our context, we'll use that app context. And the last thing I want to utilize, and just to show that using this technique, you can still utilize constructor injection like you normally would. We're going to utilize that here in this alert helper class. So I'm going to inject in this app context. So that means that we should be able to inject this alert helper class within our main activity. Alrighty, so that is it for the program, guys. If we did everything correctly, we should see the buttons each show a toast. So let's see what we have. Alrighty, so we are going to hit this activity injection method, and we see the toast correctly. And for the construction injection, let's see what we got. Yep, that works correctly as well. So there you go. So, all right, well, that's it for the tutorial, guys. I want to thank you for joining me today. I also want to encourage you to keep grinding and working every day to be the best developer that you can be. Feel free to check out the GitHub link below if you need to see the code, and comment below for any other maybe simple tutorials you might want to see. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.